A very good afternoon to all those who are watching this video. I am Parag and I have built a project which is a JDBC interface to connect my Java program to SQL database. So this was my assignment 3 of my subject in my university called Database Management Systems. So um, over here, while connecting Java to your database, you need two very important things. One is how to connect, the other is an interface to write your Java code, and the third thing is a database which will host all your data on your system. So in my case, I have a driver which will connect Java and MySQL. I have VS Code as my code editor, and MySQL will handle all my databases and stuff. Now, installing MySQL is quite simple. All you have to do is just type MySQL installer, um, and you'll get this link. So if you'll press this, you'll get your OS and whatever. This is the download button. The download will start automatically. And once you download this setup, all you have to do is just press install, install, install. So this is the part one of this whole procedure. The second procedure is downloading. If you are doing it by Java, then you need to download a file called as connector J component. Is that, yeah, connector J component. So if you'll click on this link, you'll get different systems of connector J 8.3.0, and if you'll go to archives, then you'll get all these things. So for Windows, we don't have such option, so we'll have to select platform independent one, and it will give two files. This is currently set to 8.2, but what I have is 8.0.32. The reason why I have 8.0.32 is I felt it to be more independent. I mean, it was working in all other cases. Some of these product versions were not working when I tried it to connect my Java to MySQL. So 8.0.32 is the best one that you can download. And yeah, I also have this in my system. I'll show it to you. Yeah, so here is my zip file and I have accepted over here. This is my uh, J component file and this is the file. So once you have installed all this, I think installing VS Code is quite simple. Everybody has VS Code these days. So once you are done with this setup, all you have to do is create one new Java file from your command palette. Then just type create new Java project. Once you have created your Java project, the important thing is you have to add your connector J component to this document. Now, how will you do that? Um, if you'll see, this is the outline of any Java project. So once you open this drop down, you'll get reference libraries option. Just click on this option and add a new component. Now select the file that you have extracted as your J component. I think, yeah, this is the file, and just import this file. Now once you have completed, you are ready and you can write your basic code. Now how does this Java will be connected to MySQL is the question. Well, I'll show you my code first because that is how everything is going to happen. Um, for line number 149 to 152, it's quite obvious for any Java programmer. I have a class called, I have named my file as actual. So if I'll have a public class, it will enter into my code from the actual class. And then I have a main function which is creating the object of queries run slash queries run is equal to new queries, right? So um, this is this is a part of it. Now once this object is created, I am giving it a few choices. This is my interface, so I have provided the function to have 10 choices, which is create database, create table, insert values, change database, update record, perform natural join, perform Cartesian product, show records in table, custom query, and exit. And again, this is the input of choices, the next line that I have to input, and a switch case to select what I actually want. So for example, if I'll click one, which is actually create database, then the database will be created with whatever name you specify, and then it will keep on running until I think 10 is entered here. It will keep on running until 10 is entered, because 10 says that please break it, and the choice is there, so it will break the loop, right? So um a very important thing in to notice over here is that I once this object which was built of queries.run, for the first example, if I'll select create database, then it will call a function queries run dot create database name. Now so you see there are a few statements that I have to create over here. First one is public queries run. What this function will do is it will connect my driver with my SQL document with the URL link, username, and password. What is URL, username, and password? URL is actually this whole thing, JDBC :mysql / localhost 3360. This is the link that I have to provide, or the URL which the driver must get to connect to my MySQL database. Username is your username of, I mean, whatever username you have specified. In my case, it is root, and the password of MySQL local server is 1234. Please, yeah, very important thing to keep in mind is please keep simple passwords for your MySQL database, unless and until you are doing something very important, because if you forget your password, then things get quite tough for you. Another thing to notice that if I'll add some database name, for example, Parag in my case, so you can directly switch to your database through this way. But hence I am giving since I am giving the option of creating a database, I am not doing this. Yeah, so when this create database is called, when this create database is called, it'll it'll execute one more function which we get through this con file, right? So step one is inputting your URL, username, password. Step two is connecting, and then step three, which is creating statements. So here in the try catch block, you can see that I have created a string query, which is actually create database plus DB name. Now DB name is something you will specify in the inputs. I'll give you an example to show how it works. And then once this DB name has been passed to this function, it will execute the query stm.execute update and query. If it is created successfully, then the message will pop up, database has been created successfully. Else it will print, or else it will cache the error in the cache block and we'll get the error. So to run this file, I'll just click over here, and yeah. So if I choose the option of creating a database, I'll press 1 and enter any database name, for example, anything, let's say Redgear. So as you can see, enter database name Redgear, database Redgear created successfully. Now once this is done, it is again asking me what do you have to do, but currently I'm not performing any function, so I'll click on 10, which is exit, and it will exiting, and connection is closed. Yeah, um, one important thing to notice that once you have performed any of the queries, or once you feel like you do not want to enter anything new, the connection to the MySQL file must be closed. So we will be opening our connection at the start of the file through this block. Then we'll be closing our function once we are done with everything through this block. Yeah, so that is the overall schema. Now to insert or to create any table, the similar thing is done. String query is equal to create table plus table details. Now again, table details must be filled in the form that we usually fill in our SQL table. So yeah, so SQL table queries must be filled over here. I'll provide you with an example how to do that. And then rest all things are the same, just the function parameters that we are passing to this code will change. Again, once you start over here, all you have to do is just close this connection. Otherwise, if the connection is not closed, then maybe next time when you open this whole stack of code, then it will provide you with some errors. So this is my overall code. This code was to be implemented with my digital assignment to one. So I have created a few tables, I think. DBMs. Yeah. So these are the tables that are created with um, my ER diagram. I'll create all these tables, and whatever output will be there is shown in the report file of my code. The YouTube link will be provided also in the report file along with the comments in the LMS section. So I hope that you like my project, and everything was done in a smooth manner. One important thing to note about this project is that I have not added this print and other statements. I have built all these things. Try connection, call dot close, system dot out was not written by me. Catch exception. All this was done by the ChatGPT. I built the basic structure of the code, and the rest all things such as adding the queries and yeah, adding the print statements, etc., etc. Overall, making the code look a little bit better was done with the help of ChatGPT. So this is my entire project, and that is about it. Thank you. If any error or if any lack in the project, please let me know. I'll try to improvise it.